What's up, baby?
All right, Alvin, you gotta put your hands up right here. Put your hands in the air and wave it like you just don't care. I said, put your hands in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, from Birmingham, Alabama, it is the man, the singer, the songwriter, the Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter, Alvin Garrett.
What's up, baby? Man? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
I'm wonderful. Wonderful. You hear me good?
Yeah, I hear you real good. I like how we come on here and act like we ain't just talk.
Gotta pretend it's the first time we've done this today.
Hey, man, Bobby told me to tell you what's happening. He in the comments now.
What up, Bobby?
Me, hey, family.
What up, Bobby?
Yeah, you know, the first time we all got together, you know, we was in Atlanta. We drove down to Birmingham, boy. We had a ball.
Cut up.
Cut up. Merz, that was so much fun, man. How you feeling, brother?
I'm good. I'm excited, man. You know, it's been a long time coming. I finally get to hang out with my boy. You know, you've been big time. You know, I've been around here chilling, you know, finally get to come on behind all these superstars you got.
Right. I like that. I like that nice little bush that you got there, boy.
Hey, man, listen. I literally just got this cut. And it was sitting out like one of them 1970 froze. I thought I was looking like Johnny Taylor on one of them. So I went upstairs. I kept my jeans on. I put my head in the shower. I said, let me wash this thing. Go put my little juicy cream in there.
Yeah,
get the curl popping for my boy.
That juicy cream. You look like George Wallace. You like a young George Wallace over there.
Boy, I got this thing freshly done for you. I see you didn't have to do nothing for me, but go wash that, shine that thing up.
Hey, that's it, bro. I washed it off before I came down here and sat down and washed it off real good so the shine don't come up off of it. Oh, man, I'm happy to I finally be able to connect with you on this platform, man, because, you know, it's been such a long time that I wanted to expose what it is that you do. So we're going to wait till the room fill up a little bit so nobody don't miss nothing.
That's right.
Y'all
that's
come
right.
on. All your friends will come in. Alvin Garrett is here. Somebody said you look like young Al Green.
You know what? You know it's so funny. When I sing, they say I sound like a little young Al
You
Green.
do sound like Al.
And we got the same initials. So, you know, I said, I'm not going to fight it.
Wow, that is true. Wow.
AG, LG, and LG, baby.
There it is. The Rem Al Green. And sometimes
so I have to croon them till the crowd come. Showing love with you. Come on here now.
Whatever you want to do. Come on. It's all right with me.
Okay, yes. Can I hit it? 'Cause you make me feel so bad. Ooh.
Listen, buddy.
Okay, let me stop.
It's a wonderful thing.
Yes.
But look, man, since everybody that's coming in, if you haven't met Alvin is this the first time you meet Alvin Garrett? Alvin, he's a singer in his own right. He was in a band in Birmingham with Ruben Studdard called A Few Cats.
Just a few cats.
Just a few cats.
That's right.
And this boy, man, incredible songwriter. He's done songs for a lot of people that we know and love. You sing the song, but you don't really know the backstory of where the song came from. So, you know, I want to introduce everybody to the craft of songwriting tonight and talk about some of the things that Alvin has done through his career that nobody has noticed. Because I'm going to tell you, and we've talked about this before, but one of the first times that I even heard about you, and I think you was working on a project, because I specifically remember a song called Puppets that was on this album, because I used to pump this in my truck, and I didn't even know you back then. But I think Noel Gourdin was like one of the first people that introduced me to your work, because you had done some stuff with him. What's some of the songs that you did for Noel?
Well, you know, after he had the big record By the River, he got signed to an independent label up in Boston. And my guys, my production team, they live in Boston. I met them on the road, Ruben, and we just kind of connected. and they told me they were working with Noel. And I was like, oh, I can write for that guy. And man, on that album, Fresh the Definition, I think it might have been 9 or 10 songs, one of them, but it was pretty much the whole album. There was a few that I didn't touch, but we just had our voices just matched.
Yeah.
They heard my vocal arrangements. They were just like, yo, you two got to work together. And I mean, he just did a beautiful job of bringing the songs that I write and demo to life. And we just clicked. It's like, all right, brother got a soul for voice.
Yeah.
I can pen for that. And I just sort of have a certain way of, like I said in our demo, I was saying I'm kind of the sugar in the Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? I just find a singer and I study them and I listen to them, and then I just add a little sweetness to them. I don't try to change their color. I just try to sweeten them up. You know what I mean? And I think other artists tend to appreciate that when they work with me as a writer and a vocal arranger, because I don't come in trying to take over. You know what I'm saying? I don't come in trying to turn the red Kool-Aid purple. You know what I mean? It's like...
So look, let me ask you this, Alvin. How did you discover like the craft of being able to songwrite? Is that something that you discovered, or you start messing around with poems and then learn how to structure a song? How does that happen?
Man, honestly, I was a young boy and I used to always write poems and mess around with it. But I'll tell you who inspired me to fall in love with writing songs. My man, PJ Morton. Now, a lot of people don't know my relationship with PJ because they used to call me Cornbread back in the day. We had a band called Freestyle Nation before he blew up. We was just little dreamers, we were little dreamers.
Wow.
So if all y'all out there, if you heard of PJ Morton, which is everybody, we started out together. You know what I'm saying? Back in 2000, I played bass and we did a lot of writing together. But I would always ask him like, yo, man, how you write these amazing songs? And PJ like, you write the bad ones till you get the good ones. I'm like, okay, what's the secret? Like, okay, give me like that ain't working. He said, Corn, you just got to write a lot of bad ones till you get to the good ones. Literally, that was his advice. Like, just keep writing. And so being around PJ and playing in the band with him, I sort of fell in love with writing. And I started writing my own. When he would help me produce the songs, I was like, man, I got one. And that relationship, honestly, with being a songwriter was really, to be honest, inspired by my friendship with PJ Morton. And I'm so excited about what he's become. So a lot of people don't even know that connection because it's been, like you said, it's been so long, but we're still good friends to this very day. So we talk and I celebrate him. So it's real cool. But that's what kind of jumped off my love for it. And I just kept at it, wrote a bunch of bad ones till I figured it out.
Yeah,
like
it's crazy to hear some of the stuff that you've sent me that nobody's ever been able to put their ears on. And I've called you back. There's specific songs that have made me literally cry, like real tears. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that song. Remind me the name of it again, because I always forget the name.
I know it's you.
I know it's you. We gotta play a little bit of that so people can hear it. But man,
absolutely.
Listen. So Alvin writes this song for Alzheimer's, and it's really talking about the perspective from a patient that's dealing with the disease of Alzheimer's. And my great grandmother went through this. My great grandmother and I were close. So when she got sick, I was probably about 12 years old, and I was never able to have a conversation with her, in the same manner. She was there, but we couldn't have the same type of interaction. And she lived until I was actually it's my senior year in college when she passed. So, and going to the funeral, and after that moment, here we are years later, and I don't think I ever properly grieved. So there was one instance when I read a book that was written about Alzheimer's, and I had to pull over on the side of the road one night, man, and I bawled like a baby. And I was like, gosh, I never knew that was in there. So when you sent me that song and I listened to it, and I started to think about my grandmother, she just passed in December of 2018, but she cared for both of my great grandparents. So, to be a caregiver for somebody.
Right.
Oh my gosh, man, it's a heavy burden and a heavy responsibility, because you put your life on hold to be a caregiver for your parents or whoever it is. I mean, it's a heavy responsibility. So when I put my ears on that song, man, it broke me down to the very last compound. I mean, I cried like real tears. And it's not the first time that it happened. I've listened to it again and had the same reaction to it. So, just to be able to capture something like that, you know, because your music, and I told you, your music has a very healing power to it. You know, and I think that's what music is supposed to be about. It's not necessarily like the material things. And then some music is fun and that's cool. But if it can help somebody, it means so much more.
Right.
You know what I mean? Can you play a little bit of that song, man? I just want people to hear like the impact that anybody who's in here hanging with us tonight that may have the responsibility of being a caregiver. Talk about the perspective that you wrote this song from when you play it.
All right, I'll give a quick background. We were working with some people who were doing Alzheimer's research, and they wanted to sort of do a fundraising campaign, and they reached out to me and Ruben at the time to kind of help. They wanted him to sing. They wanted me to write something. And when we were talking about it, I said, we can't sing to them. They wouldn't remember the song. I said, but who's hurting the most? The person that's watching that loved one slip away. Let's sing and let the song be the voice of the person who can no longer speak for themselves. And so that was the purpose behind it, was to get the reaction out of you. So when we sat down to write that song, we intentionally thought about you, the person who loves the person slipping away, saying, let this song, whenever it plays, be the voice from beyond the barrier of Alzheimer's. And that's a different perspective. You see what I mean? Most people would think, let's let grandma know how we feel. But grandma needs to let you know how she feels, because the spirit is still there. And so we put that language in this song that said there's a time capsule in my heart where all the memories are stored. And we think memories are here, but memories are here. So I know it's you. I feel your presence. And so every time you hear this song, you hear the intentionality of that message. And I'll play a little bit of it now.
Okay.
Let me know if you can hear it, okay?
I don't think you know what it means to me that you come around every day. I have no way to express to you the things that my heart wants to say. I see the tears in your eyes when it seems I deny all the love that you're trying to show me. Here's what I've been wanting to say. I know it's you. Don't be afraid. My love for you won't drift away. When you are here, I hear your voice. It fills me with joy, 'cause I know it's you. I know it's you. Don't be ashamed. The love that I have, it will remain. Though I cannot say that I know your name, the memories in my heart never fade. I know it's you. Day after day, it gets hard for me to remember what I used to know. But there is a capsule within my heart where all of the memories are stored. All of the family trips, the day you were born. Look in your eyes, lets me know that you're torn. But here's what I've been wanting to say to you. I know it's you. Don't be afraid. My love for you won't drift away. When you are here, I hear your voice. It fills me with joy, 'cause I know it's you. I know it's you. Don't be ashamed. My love for you, it will remain. Though I cannot say that I know your name, the memories in my heart never fade. I know it's you.
Right. Mm.
Music can do that to you, man. You know, when you choose to use the power of the pen to heal. You mentioned earlier, you know, other reasons that people write music. The power of music never changes, regardless of how you choose to use your pen. I just made the choice to do this with my
Sorry,
pen.
man.
You know, yeah,
That thing get me every time, man.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. Wow, man, that's an honor. It's an honor because that was why we did it, was to give healing, and um, that's part of, as an artist and as a writer, when it's my choice, that's what I choose to do with my pen. You know, as a writer, you know, when you're trying to do a job, of course, you know how to get into the mind of another singer. And I was able to do that successfully. And it took me a while to really push through the noise of the industry, because it's like, hey, send me something hot. Send me something hot. Well, what is hot? You know, what is hot? Like, to me, for you, this is hot. You know, this is what you need. You know, this may not make a club jump, but there's that time where you say, I want to grieve.
Yeah.
Well, where's the soundtrack for grief that allows you to connect spiritually or in the mind with another human being? That soundtrack is hard to find. So I said, I'll do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I stick to it, even though it's hard, which is why I'm so grateful for people like you who can hear the importance of this type of music. And I feel like with where the world is now is ready for me now. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I stood my ground, said, I'm gonna write these songs. This song is maybe every bit of 8-9 years old. You know what I mean? It's still.
But you know what, man? And you know what, man? And to be honest, I still feel it, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm sorry, but
no, I love it, brother.
I just lost my paternal grandmother, and I went back and listened to that song again. And you know, it's just healing, you know, in the way that it touched here, you know, because I specifically went back and looked for that song just for that purpose, you know. So my heart goes out to you for sharing that gift, man, you know, because I really feel like that's what music is supposed to be about. You know, of course, you know, we could turn up, we could have a good time, but what happens when we have those down moments in our lives? What happens then? You know, because life ain't all about a party all the time. These are real situations that we dealing with. So, you know, just like the conversation that we had today, you know, I said, it's not all about who is the influencer right now. What about those who are really trying to make an impact on the things that we're dealing with in this world right now?
Right.
What about those people? When are they going to fit in? When are they going to matter? Because this is more important right now. The things that we do, you got people that can't put food on their table right now, man. We can't go to no club and party.
Right. That's right. Good Lord. Well, man, just based off what you said right there, I gotta play this song that's gonna be released tomorrow on my new EP. I wrote this song actually in 2008, just to show you, and encourage people to stand your ground and just stay in it. I wrote this song in 2008, my brother. It's called Therapy. I re-recorded it with 4 times, never put it out because I can never find the right opportunity to put it out. But it's going to be on this project tomorrow. And what you just said right there, like, what about when we're feeling down? What about when we don't want to party? What about that moment? Where's that song to get me through that moment. Man, I held on this song for 12 years, and it's gonna be on this project tomorrow. But I'm gonna play it right here, right now, because based on what you said, this is what people need to hear, and it's called Therapy.
Right now I'm broken, nearly my end. I've been abandoned by those that confident, and there's no relief inside, and I have no more strength to fight. Said I need a break from all this pain. Life is in a desert, I need rain. There's no one here to hold, but deep in my heart, I know where to go. Oh, when I get down, I can find way my knees, and when I feel low, 'cause this world's heavy on me, I can look up. Oh, I know you're watching me, and you're everything I need. You're my therapy. I've been down to that hole. I've been hurt. My life's falling apart. Oh, Lord, it can't get worse. I need to rejuvenate. Please, please be with me. I'm my therapy. My heart is running out. It needs some repair. Simple, how would you? Oh, but nobody cares that I'm all by myself, and no one's available to help. When I feel like I can't cope, and I've ever memories of my road before I let it go. I somehow find that glimpse of hope. Oh, I can find my way to my knees. Yeah. 'Cause of this world having on me, I can look up. Oh, I know you're watching me, and you're everything I need. You're my therapy. Yeah. Oh, Lord, I've been hurt. My life's falling apart. Oh, Lord, it can't get worse. I need you. I need you to rejuvenate. Oh, please, 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 stay with me. I'm not there, frustrations are melting away under the sun. I'm glad let's go. And I look to the hill for my therapy. My man, therapy. People need to rejuvenate out here, man.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. So you releasing a new project tomorrow?
Yes, it's called The Awakening, my brother. The Awakening.
Okay.
Music that was inspired by, honestly, it started with COVID-19 shutdown. It just created a different awareness in me. Number one, of gratefulness to be alive. Start there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Started waking up at 3:30 in the morning. You know, my whole body shifted because, you know, being a touring, performing musician, you don't need to stay up late anymore. So
Yeah.
my whole universe sort of shifted, and my awareness of time changed to where between 3 and 8 o'clock, that's 5 hours uninterrupted,
Yeah.
quiet.
Yeah.
I basically started finding myself, man, and just started looking at the humanity different, and just started noticing a different type of humility that was happening because everybody could die at the same time, you know, where neighbors are like, you all right? You all right? Neighbors that would normally pass you by.
Yeah.
People that normally wouldn't care at all about how you doing started asking, how you doing? You okay? Y'all all right? There was a connection that happened with COVID that I think when George Floyd was killed, that connection was already established because of COVID, to where people felt things. They felt it. Whereas with Philando Castile, that one, because I mean, there's a lot of them, but that one hit me because I'm a father and I'm a husband. You see what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there looking like, how can you do that? You know, you know what I mean? Somebody that says, you know, I'm exercising my Second Amendment rights. I'm doing things the right way. I got my baby. You know, like that one really rocked me, but it didn't rock everybody. But this one, something was different this time, you know, and when I saw that, I was like, why do they care now? Why is the consciousness of this one so different? Yeah. And I honestly believe because the precursor was COVID. Everybody had been slowed down enough.
Yeah,
to
but they can focus, pay attention.
You can see it. You can see it and feel it and say, oh my God. Like, see, we see it because we're in that frequency. We're Black in America. So we're attuned to these struggles. But everybody else, they're not tuned to the frequency. They're not listening to our station. But COVID had everybody listening to the same station, if you follow what I'm saying. And so my first song that I wrote in response to what I was feeling and what I felt everybody was feeling was a song called Something's Different This Time. And and that's a single that's out now. And tomorrow I'll be releasing a video with that. And that was just the beginning of a 5-song EP called The Awakening, where I'm saying, you know, something's different, but what is it? What is so different this time? And that's where I started just sort of listening, observing, watching how people on both sides were reacting to this. And I've always been the type of person, like you and I talk, we sort of hang in the middle. And because I believe that's where compassion lies, is when you can feel the pain of all people. You know, when you can feel both sides and communicate with both sides. And this album, it does just that, man. It may say one thing to you here and one thing to this person here, but it's still speaking from the same place. You see what I'm saying? And so I carefully put this project together, pour my heart out into it, my truth into it. And I honestly believe it's my best work yet. And so I'm excited about it coming out tomorrow, and you know, just have an opportunity to talk about it today.
So let me say this to you, Alvin. And I really mean this from the bottom of my heart. You know, you my boy. And I appreciate, you know, how consistent you are and how you still manage to share your gift in spite of you not being like this major superstar that's like through the stratosphere. But you have a gift that you still owe. You know what I mean? We can never determine what our reward is going to be. You have an obligation to share that talent, man. And I don't care if you never reach that platinum status. Just know that what your gift and what you're giving off is being impacted on somebody's life, man. And I actually applaud you for that and for being able to focus and stay the course that you have. I mean that, man. I mean
appreciate
that. You know, because here's my problem. There's so many artists right now that I think deserve a fair shot. But, you know, we living in a political world where it's impossible. You don't get the same platform as everybody else. No, we don't want to deal with that because nobody wants to take a stand. You know, that's why I appreciate this platform. I ain't got to ask nobody permission. Can I have Alvin Garrett on? Now, I don't have to ask you. I could put him on, and whoever tunes in, because I appreciate those who are open enough and willing to try something new, something that's different. Not necessarily those who are making an influence right now, but what about the introduction to people such as an Alvin Garrett that has something to offer. That's where we are right now. And I want to change this now. Now, you can look up Alvin Garrett's songs, and then you can go on his website and all that good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff that's available. But what I want to talk about now, and this should be a lot of fun, you know, the songwriting. And we never really get to hear the backstory, but there's been so many songs that you've been involved with. And, you know, we hear the artist sing it and we fall in love with it. So I know I want to hear some of the demo versions that you put together before these artists got these songs. Let's shift to that.
All right. Well, when we talked about this, you know, I said I'm going to play number one of my favorite R&B artists of all times is Joe. Okay. Now that's just Joe. You know,
we got some Joe lovers in the room, man. We got some Joe lovers in the room.
Woo, let me tell you.
I call her. She's in there. You see, she just put Joe in the
Joe. Listen, I'm telling you, like I used to when I was in my early years writing, I'd write a song and I'd be like, ooh, Joe would sound great singing this. You know, back before they forced me to do it myself. Oh, who says I'd rather have love as my fave? Oh, I got some for you, She's Fly and 40 something. And I thought about She's Fly and 40 something when I wrote this, because I give you a little story. So such and such person introduced me to this person, introduced me to that person, blah, blah, blah. Met the producer. He said, look, man, I'm working with Joe. He got this great music over there. They love the music, but can't nobody write to it. And, you know, he figured I'm from the South because this music kind of soulful.
Yeah.
And I said, well, let me hear something they doing. You know, it was some good, sexy Joe music, you know, classic Joe. And I said, man, but you know what, though? This brother, man, my wife is his fan, and she don't want to hear him talking about that. She want to hear him talk like I talk. So I said, let me sing to all these 40-something-year-old women who want a man to grow up. Don't take me from nobody no more. That was cool when I was 20.
Right.
Don't take me from a man. I need him. He got bills to pay. So, so I literally said, let me write a song for grown Joe. I'm going to write a song for grown Joe.
Yeah.
And it says, man, I was cool in them streets. Man, I was cool in the club. Real talk. Yeah. I wasn't thinking nothing about love. I literally wrote this as a conversation for a man. I said, I'm going to grow Joe up with this one. And they heard it, and the rest is history. Let's see what it sounds like when AG sings it.
Do y'all mind if I talk to you for a minute? See, most of these fellas out here, they're afraid of doing that long-term thing. They figure as soon as they lock hearts with another, something better's gonna come along. Well, that's quite possibly true. But the deal is, you're gonna have to find yourself a love, or you're gonna find yourself alone. See, I was cool in them streets. Yeah, I was cool in the clubs. Real talk, I wasn't thinking nothing about love. Oh, no. See, I didn't want nobody trying to partake in my stuff. I thought an occasional one-night stand would be enough. Oh, but one day I met this girl and she ruined my philosophy. Caught me by surprise. Now my heart skips a beat when she comes around. I never thought that I'd be ready to settle down. See, I was about to find myself alone, but I found myself alone. It's gonna take a minute to evolve, but I'd rather have a love than nothing at all. I'm ready for a love of my own. Can't stay in these streets forever. Even though I want to, I just see us together. And I'd rather have a love than have a life alone. See, I was raised by a good one. Mama told me what a real man should be. She said, son, pick one and treat her like
Here we go.
But I took all of her wisdom and I used it for selfish gain. And I know if she saw all this pimping, she'd be ashamed. Oh, but now I'm fine.
This
girl and I
man, turn it off.
Like I can't
turn it off, man. No, that's enough.
Come on, man. Like, I said, boy.
Man, that is so good.
Man,
That
I'm
is
gonna
so good.
tell you the funniest part of that story, though. I ain't gonna lie. So They say Joe love the record and he gonna record it. And you know, I'm like, yeah, I was like running around like I don't want to lie. You know, shouting, yes, woo. So I'm thinking, man, he about to blaze this joint. He gonna blaze it. He gonna turn this thing into something for real. Cause you know, by this time I still, you know, I ain't really feeling myself like, you know, like I am now, you know. So I'm thinking, man, he finna destroy this joint. Finna destroy it. And I'm like, okay. They said, yeah, man, he recorded it. I said, can I hear it? And then I played it, and it sounded like this.
Do you mind if I talk to you for a minute? You see these fellas out here, you see they're afraid of doing that long-term thing.
Like, wait a minute.
They figure as soon as they lock hearts on another,
That's what I say.
something better's gonna come along.
No.
That's quite possibly true.
No.
And the deal is, you're gonna have to find yourself alone, or you're gonna find yourself alone. See, I was cool in the streets.
Like, right, hold up. Wait a minute. Like, he sound like me. Like, don't do, no, make it better. Make that thing better, Joe. Like, put the runs on it. Like, put the sweet stuff on it. I can't sing for real. Like, why he singing like little old me? And I met Joe one time. One time he came to Birmingham, man. And he was at Platinum. And I said, I got to meet him. Because we recorded from Birmingham. I was just sending demos he recorded. So, man, we in the back. He stopped his whole VIP. Man, had a line all the way out the door. Because our first time meeting. And he said, man, let me tell you something. I don't know how you do it. And I'm like, who, me? He said, you a bad boy. He said, now I'm a songwriter. You know I'm a songwriter.
Right,
He said, but when you sent your demos, I ain't want to touch it. He said, I ain't want to mess nothing up. And I'm sitting there, my wife's pregnant at the time. She's sitting here like, huh? And I'm like, blown away. I'm like, dog, you gonna, well, okay. Like, you was hooking me up right now, you know? And he was just so complimentary. He said, man, your vocal arrangements, he said, you just put everything in such the right place. He said, I just wanted to pay tribute to your great work. He said, I've never really worked with anybody that could nail me the way you do.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you keep doing what you're doing. He said, you keep doing what, man, that's the only time I ever met Joe face to face. And he talked to me for 30 minutes.
I got one better.
Okay.
November 9th, 2016.
Okay.
We in New York City.
Uh-huh.
So Joe sang that song live, right? So I said, man, you a beast with that pen. He said, man, I wish I could take the credit for that song.
Why?
And he said, I didn't write that. I said, who wrote it? He said, a young cat out of Birmingham. I said, what? I didn't know who you were then.
Wow.
I had no idea, but he said it was a young cat out of Birmingham that wrote that song. I can't take the credit. He said,
wow.
But he nailed me. He said, because it was just like something that I was singing. And, you know, like in the way that he delivered that thing, he owned it. You know what I mean? That song's so crazy. Give us another one, man. Because this time passing by quick.
I know, man. I know. All right. So after that one, they said, man, Joe absolutely loved that joint, man. Can he do it again? He said, but can he do it again? I said, what? Of course I can do it again. I kind of started feeling myself. So the next one was a song that started off as a solo record, but ended up being a duet with him and Fantasia, the second single off of the Double Back album.
Yeah.
Do y'all mind if I share what I've learned? Oh, listen, y'all. There's a difference. Yes, it is. There's a difference. Yeah. But can I have a both of them? I must confess I've had my share of girls in my lifetime. I've been around. Honestly, I've been on the wildest rides, but I'm older now, and maybe I should slow it down. But I'm not gonna lie and say that I don't love the way it feels when I'm doing my thing, but something's missing when it's only a superficial thing.
All right, we're gonna do something.
Okay,
I'm
moving on.
gonna invite Joe. I'm gonna ask Joe to help. Joe, will you sing the rest of that thing for us, Joe? Take it away, Joe. Yes. Come on.
There's a difference. Oh, finally I learned there's a difference between love and sex. There's a difference. And I have the both of them.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Yay! Give it up, give it up, give it up.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
man, you are amazing, man. You're amazing. Now, for everybody who joined us tonight, you make sure you tell all your friends that you missed the treat. Tell your friends you missed the treat not coming in here to see Alvin Garrett tonight just because they ain't know his name.
That's right. But they know my music. That's why I said I'm like the sugar in the Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely, man. What else you got?
Man, okay, so let's just keep with my joke. You know, I ain't wrote for a whole bunch of big folks. Let me just talk about the one I did write for. All right, so after that, they said, you know, man, album did really good. He went on a lot of tours. I wish I could have been there, but I had to stay home, you know. So they say we're going to do us a remix. And I said, well, don't let nobody call me. So let's start with Joe. And this song we actually won a Soul Train Award for Best R&B Performance.
Yeah, that was my joint.
So this thing was jamming. So I was able to actually rearrange the song for him and Kelly Rowland. Hey, she's fly, Miss Jared. Come on.
I must confess, I've had my share of girls in my lifetime. I've been around. Yeah, honestly, I climbed the wildest rocks, but I'm older now, and maybe I slow it down. I'm not doing a lot and say I don't love the way you do, but I'm doing my thing. Cause it feels so good, said it feels so good to me.
All right, I'm gonna help Joe out. I'm gonna help him out. All right, let me pick that up, Joe. Around 50-something seconds. Let me help you out there, brother. Just get a little shine here. Yeah.
But can I have a moment with you, baby?
Who is that?
Yo, so shout out to my girl Saida, who came in and rocked out Kelly Rowland's part. You know what I'm saying? Another person right here in Birmingham. So I arranged her vocals, and then of course Kelly came and destroyed it. Kill it, Kelly.
I cut it off.
All right, yeah, man. So
look, give him a round of applause. Good stuff.
Yes.
So look, have you ever given away a song or sold the songs? I know you got paid for it. Have you ever been like, dang, I wish I had kept that joint?
Nope.
You know,
I'm gonna tell you why not. My mentor I'm gonna give a shout out to my mentor Fred Jerkins from Dog Child. Everybody knew Rodney Jerkins, Fred Jerkins, the brothers. Fred was the brother that took interest in me and took me under his wing. Because, you know, you send your demos out and, you know, my story, I got a lot of no's, no. Like you say, come back when you're hot. Come back when you're hot. Well, how am I gonna get hot if I, you know, but anyway, Fred was somebody that saw something in me and who encouraged me and said, you can be one of the greatest songwriters I've ever worked with. He said that to me 10 years ago. And he took me in and taught me about melody choice. And he always said, don't ever get married to a song. You can always write another one. He said, don't ever marry a song. However, in 2014, when I wrote By Myself, I said, I ain't giving this one away. No serious.
That was my choice right
there. That's mine. Like, nah. But that was, I didn't write that for nobody. That was me. See what I'm saying? And so I would not give it away. There people tried to take it and wanted it, suggested I should give it to somebody more famous or more popular. I was like listen to the song. Like, dog, like, man, you ain't famous. Give it to somebody, you'll make more money. I said, did you listen to the song? And I'm like, this is about my own personal journey. Like, I'm gonna get out here. I literally went to, man, I sang in nursing homes, elementary schools, backyard parties. Man, I literally sang that song any and everywhere. Churches, clubs, bars. Man, I'd be at a club on Saturday, wake up and sing it at church on Sunday morning. Everybody loved it.
You know what? And the reason, and that's a good point that you bring up, because I've talked to so many artists that have had those similar experiences, like Raphael Sadiq, for instance.
Wow.
I always thought that Ask of You, which was on the Higher Learning soundtrack, I thought that was his first solo effort, but it wasn't.
Right.
His first one was Just Me and You on the Boys in the Hood soundtrack. But it was credited for Tony. And the reason why is because they was like, don't nobody know who Raphael Sadiq is. So they said, let's use Tony. They asked him again on the Higher Learning soundtrack, can we just put Tony on it? And he was like, if you do that, you ain't got no song.
Ooh, yeah.
Because eventually somebody got to learn who I am.
That's right.
Rashawn Patterson, another one. Love and Basketball soundtrack. Donnell Jones ended up doing his song.
Wow.
Because he said, you don't have enough hits. Nobody knows who you are. We want to go with the name recognition. And my thing is, like, how we ever going to get some shine if nobody allows us to shine?
Ooh.
It's always really that one person that helps us and pushes us along. And we need that person. You know, we never know when that person's going to enter our life. But, you know, for me and you, brother, I don't care. However I'm able to help you, I'm going to do something. We're going to do something. And we build together. And that's really what this is all about. It's building together. That's right.
And you are helping me right now. Like I said, right now we got 28 people watching, 29 people that may not have known me before today. You know, I had several people here say, man, I just heard Cayman Kelly on Sirius XM say your name. You know, and you have to never despise the days of small beginning. I will say this. My background is in business management. And when I left corporate America in 2002, I was highly sought out, you know, by the pharmaceutical sales. Anybody in sales, that met me, they were like, oh, you'd be a monster in corporate American sales. But I wanted to do music. And so one of the parts of my story that I like to tell now, you know, because a lot of people who have looked me up, know me and Ruben Studdard kind of started off together. You mentioned that earlier. See, I left corporate America in 2002, in the summer of 2002, when he was working at Books A Million. It's a different thing to chase after your dream when your homeboy is famous. That's cool, but when your homeboy work at Books A Million, you leave a nice $40,000 job, you know, college degree on the path to corporate America. Great. And back then, you know, that's good money. You know, play football, didn't owe nobody nothing. You know, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna chase my dream, not my job. And I took the leap of faith in June of 2002, and he followed me. He was like, let's do this. And when he left his job, he was in a position to go to Nashville with one of the background singers. He didn't even go to audition himself. He went to look out for a background singer that was in the band. Once we partnered up, like, you got the singers, I got the band. He said, I'm gonna go make sure she ain't by herself. The rest is history. And it just lets you know. And from there, man, I was everywhere. I mean, I was in his shadow learning, making money, reinvesting in what you hear today. So I give a shout. I always want to tell people, don't ever despise the shadows you might be in, as long as you plant seed while you in them shadows. Right? Long as you grinding, long as you believing and never giving up. And I was able to take those lessons without the pressure of failure, right?
Yeah.
Without the pressure of being in the limelight. My boy famous. Nobody checking for me. I'm just around here learning and making that cheese,
Yeah.
But I was coming back to this lab and I was buying equipment and I was making my mistakes without the burden of proof, right? So now I look back on it and people hear my music, they're like, whoa, who is this guy? Well, you didn't have to see me make my mistakes. You see what I'm saying? You didn't have to see me become this guy. And a lot of times people get discouraged by that and quit because they want to be famous so fast. But I look at all the people I've been able to touch, like you, and, playing in the wedding band. How many brides and grooms listening to my recorded music now, sharing it with their family. A lot of them watch me now. They're like, you're our guy. Well, those weddings helped me pay my bills so that I had the time. I didn't have to get a job because I was humble enough to get out here and play in wedding bands and do corporate gigs. But it kept the food on the table for me and my family till my music could start making me money. So I just wanted to put that out there to the person that feels like they're second and third place. You just stay where you are and just stay humble and keep grinding forward, because you never know, those lessons you learn in the shadows will give you your strength in the light. You feel me? Oh, that's big. The lessons you learn in the shadow give you strength in the light. So who I am.
Instant gratification never pans out. And and that's true, man, because, before the microwave was invented, when your mama warmed up dinner, everybody had to come to the table and eat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So some things that have been invented have separated everything, and now we rely on everything to be instant. It's on demand. You remember when we had cartoons that came on in the evening time, we was excited. You come home, get your homework done, get your bath, and get your pajamas with the feet in them, and you had the TV, because it was a treat. Now it's on 24 hours a day. So it really kind of gives you nothing to look forward to. And everything that you said, and we talked about this, but I didn't show you this because I haven't seen you. This is what I in the background. And this is just a proof copy. But I'm going to send you this so you can put your eyes on it, because I do need a review team to look it over before I release it. So if anybody else want to help out with the reviews, just shoot me an email or send me a DM. Follow me here at Cayman Kelly here on IG. Just send me a DM and I'll send you a digital link, because I need a review team to put some reviews up. But this is my story. And, because nobody ever really kind of sees the grind that we go through in the backgrounds, man. And I don't know whether you saw the title or not, but this is $6 an hour to $1 million dream. And this really speaks to the journey that I went on, because I was in major market. My first gig in radio paid me $6 an hour, man. $6 an hour. But get this, I worked all day and night. They only paid me for 4 hours. And, before it was so embarrassing to me, but then it's become a part of my testimony, because I ain't in that space no more. I'm not in that space. I've been working out of my house for years between DC and New York, and you know that. Yeah. I got places, and I've been blessed with a voiceover career, and I call my own shots.
Yeah.
So it's a blessing, but it takes persistence to be able to go through those moments when they don't feel good. It takes us to be uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And one of the things, and I know you and I talked about this, that and I'll say I was blessed to see. I was telling somebody the other day, one of the lessons that really changed my life was when I was in St. Paul, Minnesota, on the first night of the American Idol 2 tour. Literally, I dreamed of this in my cubicle the year before. And here it is, all of these lights flashing. And I'm like, wow, I am literally in the middle of my dream. Like, I almost froze and couldn't play as people were screaming, Ruben, Ruben. And for me, I was like, oh, I saw this. And it was just one of those moments that you freeze and you just like, oh, dreams do come true.
Yeah.
Now, on stop 26, I was like, man, I'm ready to go home. Stop. Wait, now wait a minute. On Stop 26, doing the same show every single night, the exact same way. I'm ready to go home. Bruh, I was like, I got 26 more of these doggone things. And that was when it hit me. That was when it hit me, bro. You can die in the middle of your dream, bruh.
Yeah.
Once it's real, once it come out of here and get right here, it's over. You got to have a new dream. And that's when it hit me. And when I went back after that break, when we came to Birmingham, I said, I get it now. Man, I started shadowing the Pro Tools engineer, the front of house engineer. I would follow the tour manager. I said, man, this ain't a bass gig. This is preparation for my future. Look at all this information I can gather. Look at all this experience. I got new life. It didn't feel like 26 shows anymore. It felt like 26 opportunities to learn. So I shifted when that dream, right? That dream that was in my cubicle, that ain't enough to keep me alive. You feel what I'm saying? So I always encourage people, you gotta don't just get to the wilderness out of slavery. You gotta go from the wilderness to the promised land. And a lot of people don't have enough energy, faith to rejuvenate that dream. And so for me, bro, I don't feel like it's been 20 years grinding. Where am I trying to get to? I'm already there. So I'm already there. I ain't trying to get nowhere. I wake up every day. I get to come down when I want. If I want to lay on the driveway like I've been doing during COVID with my kids, just lay on the freaking driveway and let the sun hit me in the face. Okay. I'm already there. So it don't matter who knows my name, right? Because I know in my mind, if I just keep on living and I keep on moving, I'm going to make it somewhere. But when I get there, don't stop, right? So I'm already right now in yesterday's dream. Today is yesterday's dream. How long, man, you've been talking about this, right? So today is yesterday's dream. You know what my head is? Man, I'm in 2021. I can't wait till people spend time with this music I'm dropping tomorrow and they start hearing the awakening and what I want to do, because I'm already seeing myself bringing people together. I hear black, white, rich and poor hearing this music, feeling something, looking at each other different. I see a future that's different than today. So I'm not even discouraged by what I see with these eyes, because I'm thinking here. So I'm constantly in the promised land in my mind. You see what I'm saying? I know that may sound kind of preacherish, but it's what keeps you going. Because I'm telling you, I was my boy. He dreamed about May 20th, 2003. He talked about it. We talked about it. He said, man, I saw a dream of me. And he won that show. And people don't know, his eyes were like this. It's because that was what he had dreamed about as a little boy.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
But a few years down the road.
We got 1 minute, Alvin. Could we just count down 1 minute?
Yeah, so I just want to tell people, like, don't let your spirit die in the dream, because a lot of people don't ever really feel like they accomplished their dreams. So I just want to thank you today for allowing me to live a dream, because you believed in me way back when you heard by myself. And so I promise you, bro, I'm gonna make you proud. Number one, not because of what I accomplished that the world can see, but that I ain't gonna ever quit. Just like you. You know, I ain't gonna never quit. And so we're gonna ride that thing together, brother.
That's it, my brother. And thank you for this too, man. It's been enlightening. It helped me too, man. Yeah. I apologize for having to shed them tears, but you can't hold it back time, man.
Man, you was about to get me. I was like
yeah, I apologize for that, but sometimes, man, you just gotta let it go. But I'm a real man, bro. I'm real with my Yes, sir. But I love you, man.
Love you too, bro.
So thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming in tonight to be introduced with Alvin. And please make sure you support his work tomorrow, The Awakening.
Yes.
All right, family. Have a good night, man.
You too, my brother. God bless.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you for joining tonight. One love. Peace.
Peace.